I've driven over 26,000 miles in my Rivian R1S. I've been through sand dunes, snowstorms, car washes, trips with my daughters at college. It's an incredible vehicle, but there are a few things I wish I had known before I bought this. Now, this is not your San Diego 72-degree kind of thing. Like, this is the Midwest, so it's overcast, it's rainy, there's gonna be frost on the road sometimes, but it handles everything. And I want something that's real and authentic. So let me tell you about a few things I wish I'd known before I bought this vehicle. Number one, range anxiety really isn't as bad as you think. A lot of people worry about EV range. It's really not that big a deal in this vehicle. I have the Rivian R1S with the Max Pack. It gets 400 miles rated, but I get real world about 365 miles. That's averaging in the winter and the summertime. I charge my vehicle to about 80% every night. And the reason I do that is because if I need to go somewhere, like I have two daughters at the University of Wisconsin, Madison. It's 150 miles round trip. I need to make sure my vehicle is ready to go, and I don't want to be waiting to charge this thing so I can get there. Another key thing about the range anxiety is this. If you stay on the arterial streets, like especially the expressways, like I-94 for us, or I-43, there are places to charge that you can find. So it's really not that big a deal. So range anxiety, I thought it would be a much bigger deal than it has been. It really hasn't been that big a deal for me. All right, number two, public charging isn't terrible, but it is pricey. Charging really isn't that hard. Getting access to the Tesla network has been a godsend because there are just tons of chargers all over the place on all the expressways and even on side areas. So Tesla did a really good job of setting up that infrastructure. Now you have to have access to the network. You can't just go. So that part's a little bit different. So Rivian was one of the first non-Tesla automakers to get access, which has been amazing. All you needed was the adapter. And the adapter is pretty straightforward. You just put it on, plug it in, and you're pretty much good to go. So I thought that would be a bigger deal, but it's really not. Now, it is pricey. If I charge it at home, it costs me about between 7 and 10 cents on average to charge my Rivian. Here, it's about 54 cents per kilowatt hour. Number three, charge it at home, it'll spoil you. So when I charge at home, it's actually pretty easy. Just get out, press the button, plug it in, and I'm good to go. Now, it costs about between $1,000 and $1,500 to put a home charger in, and then you have to have the actual charger itself. You get that in, and pretty much every time I come in, I plug in, I go in, and then I preset my vehicle to charge to 80%. It just does that, and I have it set to charge at a certain time, so it just happens. It's a very easy and beautiful system, but it spoils you. I don't go to gas stations anymore, so I never have to get out in the cold. It's way too easy. Like, you don't even think about it. The hard part is sometimes I forget to do it, but luckily Michelle, my wife, she'll plug it in for me. Here's number four. Charging isn't linear, and especially in the cold. What I did not know, and I've learned this, that when you go to charge your vehicle, like if you're putting gas in your vehicle, like a traditional ICE vehicle or internal combustion engine vehicle, you just pour it in, the gas goes in, and it's just gonna go, 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 go. It may slow down a little bit to keep it from spilling, but pretty much it's pretty fast. In this, it's nothing like that. When you start out with charging this, let's say you're at 10%, it's gonna charge different than it will at 50% and different at 80%, and especially when you get to the 90 or 100%. The reason why they do that is because they want to preserve the vehicle, and if you charge at a high rate the entire time, you can have battery degradation or do damage to the vehicle. They slow down, there's a charging curve. So it starts out at fastest at 10%, and then as you get closer and closer and closer to 100%, it's gonna slow down. That's super frustrating. 0 to 100% can take me an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20, an hour and 30 minutes. That's not as practical as I thought it would be. I thought, okay, maybe it takes 45 minutes to plug in and go. I definitely wish I would have known that. Again, not a deal breaker. I charge at home anyways. I very rarely am on the road waiting for my vehicle. 5, cold weather impacts everything. I expected range to drop in the winter, even in my gas vehicle. The range dropped, but it really drops in this. And the biggest difference is this. There's two things that make the range drop so significant. One is if I'm driving and the range drops, let's say I get about 30% less mileage in the wintertime as opposed to the summertime. That's not a big deal. The problem is this is twofold. One is we talked about the charging curve. It's gonna take me longer to fill up my vehicle just because the vehicle charges slower. So therefore, I have to fill up more frequently. It takes me much more time to do it. And there aren't as many charging stations as there are gas stations. You also have to deal with any vehicle when it's cold. It's a little stiffer when you drive. Everything sticks, when you're trying to open the doors. That's just a part of dealing with winter driving and winter vehicles. That's fine. But I did not know, and I wish I had known, the impact of charging and how much the cold would have an impact on the performance of the vehicle. Now, it still drives great. I mean, I still can do things. I can drive in snow. It's amazing. I can still do things, but like I said, I just wish I'd have known that. The reason why I bought my Rivian is number 6, that I wish I'd known. It's a family-friendly vehicle, no doubt, but the third row shrinks storage. It's just the reality. The R1S is great for families, but once the third row is up, trunk space is next to non-existent. It's super duper tight. I mean, you can fit a couple things in there, and you do have access to the front, which is amazing. But for road trips, you do lose a lot of storage when you get 6 or 7 people in the vehicle. And even speaking of that, it is a little bit tight getting in, and I'll show you that. Now, reason number 7 is the most fun thing. It's you'll be a spokesperson, ready or not. Everywhere I go, if it's at the car wash, or if I'm just driving down the street, or I stop, people love looking and talking about my Rivian. And honestly, I love talking to them about it, telling them the whole story about what it can do, what it's capable of. So if you're thinking about getting a Rivian, I'd love to help. Obviously, no pressure, but if my videos help you make a decision, just let me know. We got more videos coming. We're gonna talk about off-roading. We're gonna talk about family travel, cold weather testing, and real life Rivian ownership. If that's the kind of content you're looking for, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Thank you, and have fun adventuring.